War Chief Zekthar stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Void Ripper, his four eyes gleaming with predatory satisfaction as he gazed upon the small blue planet spinning helplessly before his armada. Behind him, his tactical officers worked at their stations, their clawed appendages dancing across holographic displays that showed the deployment of 3,000 warships, the largest fleet the Corvani Empire had ever assembled. "Report," Zekthar commanded, his voice a low rumble that made the bridge's crystalline structures vibrate. "Planetary scans complete, Warchief," replied his intelligence officer, Vexnol. "The humans have approximately 200 primitive vessels in orbit, nuclear-powered kinetic weaponry, basic energy shields. Their technology appears to be roughly equivalent to what our empire possessed 8 centuries ago." Zekthar's mandibles clicked in amusement. 8 centuries. The Corvani had conquered 47 star systems in that time, each one falling within days of their arrival. And now these humans thought they could stand against the might of the Empire with their laughably outdated technology. "What of their ground defenses?" Zekthar asked. "Minimal," Vexnol reported. "Missile silos scattered across their continents, some orbital platforms. Nothing that could penetrate our shield matrices. Warchief, this will be our easiest conquest yet." The bridge erupted in chittering laughter from the crew. Zekthar raised a clawed hand for silence, his eyes fixed on the tactical display showing Earth's pathetic defensive formation. 200 ships against 3,000. It was almost insulting that they would even attempt resistance. "Open a channel to the human fleet," Zekthar ordered. The main view screen shimmered and the face of a human appeared, a female with graying hair and stern eyes, wearing what appeared to be a military uniform. Behind her, Zekthar could see the cramped primitive bridge of a human vessel. "I am Admiral Sarah Chen of the United Earth Defense Fleet," the human said, her voice steady despite the overwhelming odds she faced. "State your intentions." Zekthar leaned forward, his massive frame dwarfing the command chair. "I am War Chief Zekthar of the Corvani Empire. You will surrender immediately and prepare your planet for occupation. Resistance is futile, you are outgunned 15-1. Admiral Chen's expression didn't change. "I'm afraid I can't do that, War Chief. Earth's defenses are stronger than they appear." The laughter that erupted from Zekthar's bridge was deafening. Even the War Chief himself struggled to contain his amusement. "Admiral Chen," he said, his voice dripping with condescension, "your entire fleet could not destroy a single one of my escort vessels. What possible defense could you—" "War Chief," Vexnol's voice cut through the mockery like a plasma blade. "I'm detecting massive energy spikes from the human vessels." Zekthar spun around to face the tactical display, his amusement evaporating. The 200 human ships were glowing like miniature stars, their energy signatures climbing to impossible levels. "Impossible," Zekthar snarled. "Their reactors can't generate that kind of power." "War Chief," Admiral Chen's voice came from behind him, calm as ever. "You made one critical error in your intelligence gathering." Zekthar turned back to the screen, his 4 eyes wide with growing alarm. "You assumed these were our best ships," Chen continued. "But these aren't warships, War Chief. They're fusion reactors with engines attached, and they're all going critical." The first human vessel exploded not in the violent eruption Zekthar expected, but in a brilliant flash of contained fusion energy that tore a hole in space itself. Where the ship had been, reality twisted and warped, creating a miniature black hole that immediately began devouring everything within a 1,000-kilometer radius. "Evasive maneuvers," Zekthar roared, but it was too late. The gravitational anomaly was already pulling in his forward assault group, their advanced shields useless against the fundamental forces of the universe. "My God," whispered one of his officers. "They're turning their ships into artificial singularities." Another human vessel detonated, then another. The space around Earth became a minefield of gravitational distortions, each one claiming dozens of Corvani ships. Zekthar watched in growing horror as his mighty fleet was systematically dismantled, not by superior weapons, but by an enemy willing to weaponize the very fabric of space-time itself. "Fall back," he commanded. "All ships emergency jump drives are offline," reported his navigation officer. "The gravitational interference is preventing FTL activation." On the screen, Admiral Chen's image remained steady. "You see, War Chief, humans have a saying. If you can't win with superior firepower, win with superior insanity." We've had decades to prepare for this moment. Ever since our deep space sensors detected your Empire's expansion, every ship in our fleet has been retrofitted for one purpose: mutually assured destruction on a cosmic scale. Zekthar's legs gave out, and he collapsed into his command chair as he watched another wave of human ships transform themselves into weapons of mass gravitational destruction. His fleet of 3,000 had been reduced to fewer than 800 in less than 10 minutes. "This is madness," he gasped. "You're destroying your own people." "Every pilot volunteered," Chen replied simply. They knew the cost of freedom. The last human vessel in the defensive line began to glow with that familiar, terrifying light. Zekthar found himself backing away from the view screen as if distance could somehow protect him from what was coming. "War Chief," Chen said, her voice cutting through the chaos on his bridge. "I suggest you return to your Empire with a message. Tell them that Earth is under the protection of a species crazy enough to turn physics itself into a weapon. Tell them that we don't just fight to win, we fight to make sure nobody wins if we can't." The final human ship detonated, creating a gravitational cascade that consumed the remainder of Zekthar's forward fleet. In the space of 15 minutes, the most powerful armada in Corvani history had been reduced to scattered survivors, fleeing in terror from a species that fought with the fury of a cornered star. As the Void Ripper limped away from Earth's solar system, its FTL drives finally functional again, Zekthar stared at the tactical display showing the aftermath. Where Earth's defenses had been, space itself seemed wounded, scarred by gravitational anomalies that would persist for decades. He had laughed at Earth's defenses. Now he understood the truth that would forever change how the galaxy viewed humanity. They weren't just defending their world. They were proving that some species would rather break the universe than allow themselves to be broken. The humans had won not through superior technology, but through an absolute refusal to accept defeat. And that, Zekthar realized with dawning terror, made them the most dangerous species in the galaxy.